Rethinking Possible is a presentation of Covenant Exchange in partnership with RareGem Productions, hosted on the Inspiration Networks of OneRareGem.com. Uniquely positive. Learn more at OneRareGem.com.
Hey there, how are you? It's Nikki Roach, and I am crazy excited right now because why? You're listening to the first podcast for Rethinking Possible, and I'm just crazy excited because part of this inauguration, the brains, the body, the mind, my push to get all this going after so many years. Lady Jade Harrell is going to join me and explore how we even got to this point and how she has birthed something that you do not want to miss. So stay tuned, lock in, and we'll be right back. Rethinking Possible.
One thing could throw you completely off balance.
I was diagnosed on February 19th of this year. I remember the day vividly and received, of course, news that no woman wants to hear. Devastating only to hear the words cancer, knowing that it doesn't have to be a death sentence, but it is a very difficult diagnosis to hear.
And you could deal with that hurt for a long time.
It was a challenge, so it took some time to get used to.
But it doesn't have to take you down. Take 5.
I have a rule of 3. So I never allow myself more than 3 days to be mad, upset, angry about something. And on that 3rd day, I make a choice. And so for me, my 3rd day with breast cancer came on a Saturday. So I woke up that day and made a choice. It was easy because my son had a basketball game that day. So it made it easy to be positive and cheering on his little basketball team.
You can work it out. Take care of your mental health just like you would anything else. Be alive and well. Find out more about what you can do to bounce back. Go to aliveandwellstl.com.
RareGem Productions proudly presenting The Positive.
And so we're back. I'm your host, Nikki Roach, and you are listening to the first segment of Rethinking Possible. And I am standing in the studio with the most beautiful spirited, most beautiful smile, Lady Jade Harrell. This lady is a genius when it comes to executive producing, when it comes to promotion, when it comes to finding gifts within people and bringing them to life and helping them push. So if you think about someone who's pregnant and has an idea and you know how they get into the labor room and they have a team around them and they're like, push, push. And they're like, no. And it's like, push, no, come on, get it together. And they bring a calm about the room and about that person. And then they cause them to deliver. That's what I think of when I think of Jade Harrell.
Wow.
How are you?
I am wonderful.
So I have goosebumps right now. If only you could. I think if gravity wasn't holding me down, I know right now I am floating. Because I'm so excited.
And I would be no good to you because I'm going up too.
Okay, and today, at this moment, we're not going to have a cry fest. Because you know how it is when we get together.
There's no crying and launching.
Yes. So just a little background. Jade Harrell is the brains and body, the founder, president, producer, all of the above, anything you could think of when it comes to the company called RareGem Productions. And this was something that I know she had in her for many years. I know this because, what was it, maybe about 13 or 12 years ago when we first met. And it was because of radio that we connected and talk about the power of energy. Because you know how it is when women, and I'm not even going to say of color, of culture, just women. We kind of look at each other and we get territorial, but we were both producing 4 radio shows. And it was at that point that we immediately connected.
Oh, yeah. I was in awe because you embody excellence. And I was new. I was new in this arena. Mind you, I had been doing...
Which I did not know.
Right. I was new in commercial radio.
Okay.
However, there was television, there was cable, there was internet, there was college radio, that kind of thing. But major market, you were here. And then in a talk format, a community affairs, a public service platform, I was new. And my overnight shift ended as yours was beginning. And you'd come in here and everyone was in order. They knew where to go. The show would flow. There was content that was impactful and making changes happen in our community. So I looked, I said, wow, this sister is sharp.
And then at the same time, I'm looking like, she's got something. You had such a hunger to take things to the next level. And that's what I saw.
Wow.
So here's our first lesson. You can't do it by yourself.
Indeed.
So we've got to know each other over time. And now we're here. But let's take this moment. Share with us just where did you start? Because now you're managing some crazy big projects. Take us back to the beginning.
It's amazing. For me, I think it was an emerging over time.
Okay.
I didn't realize what I was in or that I had permission to walk in what would become what things are today. I was first to go to college, only child forever. So there was a lot of time to imagine and create things. But that was something that thrilled me to make, to create, to imagine. And I had a high school radio show, but I wouldn't talk.
What?
I wouldn't talk because I was self-conscious that I wouldn't know what to say, that the words wouldn't come out right, that I would be misunderstood. So I spoke through my craft.
Wow.
MTV had just emerged. Tell a little bit about my age. This was the first time that, I guess, publicly for my genre, that there were two dynamics, different dynamics coming together in a diverse way in one platform. Mind you, there was just Run DMC and Michael Jackson at first. However, that broadened the scope and allowed us to connect with other people, you know, and I'm born in 69, the last of the 60s. So we're coming off of a time where there was still a good bit of divide among people. So I would creatively blend the music.
Okay.
So instead of playing one song and then another, I would overlay and intermix and make those songs work together to create something totally different.
Wow.
But I wouldn't talk about it.
But you were yet communicating.
Yes.
Through your gift.
Exactly. Although.
And through the art. Okay.
It was working without me. In spite of me, I should say.
Okay.
Because I wasn't doing it on purpose with a mission to, hey, I'm going to communicate this. But I did follow what was pulling and driving me to do it. Because simply I could have showed up and played the songs. And I took chances, you know. And I think I saw that happen as music progressed, where you would see, for example, Run DMC with Mick Jagger or something, you know. So it wasn't because I knew exactly, but I didn't totally shut it down because I loved it.
Okay.
And so I allowed my love to work. Anyway, went on and did that all throughout school. Left for college, got far away from the mountains of Denver and went to the ocean in Virginia at Hampton. And there it was more of that opening up. Because I was shy.
Okay. And you choose this format? Really? No.
Right, exactly. The choice is you don't get to choose.
Right.
It chooses you.
It's
it
true.
makes way for you. And I feel that God prepares you. Nothing's ever wasted. All those funny things I thought I was supposed to do, because I went for a business degree. I went for a degree that would be used and acceptable to my family and the people and the things that everybody understood we were to do. There was no way. I can't even speak that. I think I want to do radio.
It's like, excuse me?
You said what?
What's do radio?
Right.
Do you want to own the radio?
Yeah. And that wouldn't even been an idea at the time. You know?
But even during that time, and still now, women are still, it's a very much male dominated industry. So
absolutely.
That even was, I'm sure, like stumping everybody, right?
It never was a consideration. I would not even had considered. It was a guilty pleasure.
Wow.
It was something that I did on the side after I did all the stuff I'm supposed to do. But I still did that on the side after I did all the stuff I'm supposed to do.
But do you find now that the stuff that you were doing, and I'll call it stuff, that you were doing still set a foundation for what you're doing today?
The stuff I desired or the stuff that I was required?
The stuff that you were required to do, and you really knew that was not the place where your heart lied, but today, those skill sets, the discipline,
Absolutely.
even the no's and the barriers, the hurdles, all that stuff now causes you to have business savvy.
Oh, absolutely.
For where your heart really is.
Absolutely. And not just my heart, because now my desire has become my business. And I have been able to create and build my work around the life I want to have.
Wow.
So having excellence in those areas, came out with great grades. I was not valedictorian, but I had they weren't too shabby. They weren't too shabby. 3-something.
Wonderful. That's great. Hey.
3-something. Came out of school, have held some pretty awesome positions in formidable organizations. Coca-Cola, UPS International PR, General Electric, some formidable commercial real estate firms.
Wonderful.
And in executive support capacities. So I learned a lot.
Oh, yeah.
But I had to be good where I was to even realize anything that I'm looking at right now. And I use it all today.
And that is so amazing because oftentimes we can see someone in a certain place. And take you, for example, you're in the community. You have saturated this community. Yep. You have become a voice for this community, a face for this community. But some people don't realize, and then people have to realize that's because of years of work.
Oh, my goodness.
You didn't just arrive there. And some things you liked to do, some things you didn't really care to do. Sometimes you were tired. Sometimes your family needed you. So you had to make all of those different adjustments back then and still even now. But again, there is a process that occurs to get you to this place. And I'm trying to restrain myself to get to where we are today, but keep going.
Well, that's one of the things I try to encourage others with, is that in the process, there's still a you there.
Yes.
That you can't ignore.
You have to be there.
You have to be there. You need her.
Yes.
You need her to get there.
Yes.
Whether it's career, whether it's money, whether it's physique and health, you could dog out your thighs all day long, but you need her to get those thighs you're looking at in the book.
Yeah.
If that's where you're trying to go, you need her.
Yeah.
But you're beating her up every day. What's she going to be willing to do for you?
Yeah.
I'm not going to work out for you.
Right.
You're mean. I don't like you anyway. No, you have to embrace and understand that where your present is, you must physically and mentally be there.
Mentally. And that is a challenge. We've had a chance to chat about that a little bit off the air, that for the past, year, that I realized I had so much going on, so much in my head, which is good. But at the same time, I was hurting myself because although I'm here physically and I'm looking at you, usually my mind is 1,000 other places. So I'm not even present.
Yeah.
So I'm missing. I might as well not even be there. I might as well have chalked up this opportunity or opportunities that I had been involved in the past. So it's kind of like I did myself a disadvantage. And you are so right, as well as accepting who you are at this moment. Yes, you could have. Yeah, you could have given up on a number of things leading up to this day, even on this day, because, people are already doing that. Or,
oh my gosh,
who am I? I'm just this person. Or look at this person. They have this. They have these resources. They have this. But yet the resilience that you have.
I can tell you it still was not realized because I said every single one of those things. I'm in a very competitive industry as far as commercial radio. And as long as I was trying to be in that lane, I had to try to find where I measured in that lane without realizing that along the track and in the race and along the journey, there's a lane that's just for me with nobody in the way. Mm-hmm. There may be a few things in the path, but there's no other person occupying this path but me.
Wow.
And I said those things. Oh, I wanted to be funny like my morning show counterpart. Oh, my goodness. Look at those contracts that they received. Wow, they got to go here. They got to meet them. Nobody asked me to show up to speak. Oh, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness.
And then,
I would just look and look and look and miss. There's things, and I'm glad you made the point about how many things you may have passed up and missed because we do it consciously, and there's so many that we don't even know have come and gone.
Yes.
There's some that have come and gone and landed on somebody else who was able to see it, receive it, and go ahead and move with it. Yes. Because they were in position.
And that's what it's all about. I have learned, and I'm still learning, it's all about positioning yourself and having what I said earlier that you possess, and even still to this day, there is a hunger that you have, but you not only have it, other people see it and feel it. So it's contagious almost.
It is contagious.
So you attract what you are. So if you're hungry, you're going to attract some hungry people, and you get some hungry people together, you're going to make it happen.
You can. However, hungry people, a hungry pack of dogs, a hungry group of children, a hungry group of kittens could be feasting on that which does not nourish.
Good
and
point. Good point.
Malnourishment, the man that is the host of the #1 health podcast in the world told me this, and I'm so thankful to be his producer. God is good. He said, malnutrition leads to chronic overindulgence and overeating. So if we may be hungry, but we may be feasting on something that won't ever satisfy that hunger.
Wow.
And we will also draw near us those that get down like that or be attracted to those. Hence, fried Twinkies. Those should not even ever exist. But they exist because
we crave them.
We have a hunger and we fill that hunger and that need with that component. So I had to not only be hungry, but allow that hunger to happen until I was nourished with the proper sustenance.
Going back to the process. Mm-hmm. Because
nothing else, no fast food thing will satisfy that.
Right. And this process has not been overnight. Oh. It has been years. Like I said,
still going.
We met like 13 years ago, about 13, because I had just come back to St. Louis.
Wow. Yes.
It's been 13 years.
Wow.
13. Whew. And
we've got history.
Yes. So, and I mean, like running through the halls of the radio station at doggone 9 in the morning.
Right. On a Sunday. Still got church.
Yes. Halfway dressed.
At least you were dressed.
Yes. Halfway dressed.
I was there since 2 o'clock in the morning. It was anybody's business.
Oh my God. So I'm like thinking back over the process that it has taken.
Yes.
To get here. It does not happen overnight. So in this process, what self-talks have you had to have with yourself?
Goodness. There were some constructive ones. Mm-hmm. And I had to have those because doubt is not necessarily the opposite of faith. Fear is not necessarily the opposite of faith. It can be a component and a catalyst for faith as well, if managed and integrated properly. And sometimes you just got to go on and hit that bottom.
Yes.
Before you can even
That's true.
know that you're there. Because we can be there and not realize it. So these are stages that happen. So self-talk was, first of all, stop listening to that committee in your head.
Oh my gosh.
And I tell you, they get
louder and louder.
Oh my goodness! And then they're frequent.
Yeah,
they're not even the ones that give you a pause and wait until you're ready to hear it. They're like, stop, nope, that, nah. Yeah. Don't say that. Don't do that. You said that. That was dumb. Mm-hmm. But in that, I also had to realize, well, maybe I did say something dumb. Ooh, maybe I really blew that, which I did. Sometimes we blow it.
I think we even need those moments.
We do. Because the thing is, we can let those moments consume us, but there's still moments that have already gone by. There was a man, and I'll come back and try to remember his name, but he talks about the miracle morning, but he says that you give it a 5-minute rule. And that is, you realize, okay, I blew it. Now, what determines if I'm going to spend 5 minutes in anguish, or 5 days, or 5 weeks, or 5 years, or 5 decades agonizing over something you cannot change?
Yeah.
So that time frame can get shorter and shorter, and you can start asking relevant, empowering questions like, well, okay, what happened here? What really happened here? What can I glean from this? How can I turn this around? How can I make this awesome? How can this be something that benefits me as opposed to paralyzing me or crippling me?
Right.
You know, so one of those things was to go ahead and face and befriend my fears and my doubts.
Yes.
And understand, well, what is it that's making, those are past things that I'm embracing. I have never had a today ever before at 40 something years old on a Monday in July. Never. So how do I bring 2004's Monday in July or August to today?
Okay.
I have to make it real tangible that this time of mine is every moment forward is original.
Yes.
And
yes,
once it happens, it's either a part of a series of successes or if it's a weight that's holding me from the next success.
Right.
So befriend it and then put it in its place. And one of the things is to give myself permission to be okay.
Yes.
You know what? I am cool. I'm cool. Because it was comfortable sometimes getting in that lull.
Oh, yeah. And you don't realize how it paralyzes you, though. And even the lull or the change, because the lull sometimes stimulates a change that's needed or a shift that's needed. But we hold on and get comfortable. And you don't even realize how comfortable you are until the lull or the change or the shift happens.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. You ever look back on a picture? You ever look back on a picture in your past? And today you look at the picture, you're like, oh, I did look good. But when you first got that picture or you remember taking that picture, you were fixing your face and hair and said, no. Or, oh, look at my this, look at my that, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. I would throw somebody down the steps for that. For that place in time on today, because I didn't realize how good it was. Or even on the converse, you look back on a picture and you see, oh, I've come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't even realize until you've come out of that. But here's the trick. You're going to come out of it regardless, because time does not stand still.
Yeah.
So why not choose and choose to choose and choose to choose again? Meaning, if you've never done it before, lean into that discomfort.
Yeah.
It's a choice. Even right now, even if before this podcast you weren't sure, you could right now at the sound of our voice say, okay, well then right now. And you might slip up 30 minutes from now, and 30 minutes from now you could still, in an instant, at the drop of a dime.
At 30.5, right?
At 30.5, be on a whole nother direction.
It's true. And so the thing is, you can either remain where you are and live life as you know it, then stop complaining. It is what it is. Or you can take the chance, because either way, to me, it's a chance. It's a gamble either way.
Right.
So, and you already know what you're doing now and how life is. Why not take the leap?
Exactly. And if they're difficult situations and circumstances, I get that. You know, I've had them. But even in those difficult ones, there's an up
Oh, yeah.
that's available to you.
And once you position yourself,
Come on.
I'm telling you, truly position yourself, meaning this is the space that I need to be in. I'm ready, because a lot of times we say we're ready, but we're still holding on to the man that we should have buried, but we're still carrying along.
We have not.
And we're still trying to breathe life. We're trying to resuscitate. We're trying to do CPR when we should have had a funeral for that part of ourselves.
Yes.
Have the celebration to say that person is gone. I am now celebrating new life. Stop breathing life into the old you. You should change. You should make progress. No, it's not easy.
Yeah. Right. But then, I have to credit you.
No.
Yes. Because I had all this in me and I had nowhere to place it safely.
Okay.
Or I didn't believe I did. I had no place of understanding to channel it. And you said, I will listen. Sure. Tell me what you're trying to do.
Oh my gosh. This was like, 7 years ago? Oh my gosh.
Right.
We've kind of walked through this a little bit. Are you talking about when you visited me downtown?
At the school, yes.
In downtown St. Louis,
and
we met.
You were my midwife that day.
Okay. Didn't I say we were not crying today? Oh my
God. You do
God.
not have permission to cry. At least not for another 10 minutes.
Wow.
Right.
And that day you came down and grabbed some markers, the little erase markers, and wrote all over every whiteboard. And you wrote out this vision. I will never forget that, because you say I served as a midwife. I'm honored. I get it now. I wouldn't have got it then. But at the same time, you showed me what dreaming, but not only dreaming, but having a vision. You wrote out everything on these whiteboards in a green marker, green and blue. I will never forget, because I was
running out of ink.
Because I'm looking like, what is she doing? But I'm like, just hear her out. Just hear her out. And I'm looking, and then you would ask a question. I'd give a little input, not knowing where all this was going. Came down, and you were so cute, writing, and you were explaining it. And this went for hours, like a half day.
And when I tell you that had been residing under my skin for decades, and it had not come out, it was permeating from me, but it had not passed into the tangible. Write the vision, make it plain.
Yeah.
That committee in my head would not let me ever pick up a pen or get near a piece of paper because of doubt, because of fear, because of my own internal paralyzation.
Yeah,
That's God's honest truth.
I am on the same page, because I'm just coming out of that space myself. That's why we're here today.
Hello.
So
we rethought.
Possible. So you wrote all this out, and you literally created the map, wrote the vision for RareGem Productions. It wasn't named at that point, but you knew where you were going and what pieces you needed to make it happen, in the channels and all. You knew all that, the classroom aspect and all of that. Then you get there, a couple years go by, we reconnect at the Italian restaurant.
Yes.
And you had this new energy because you had just come back from visiting with TD Jakes.
Yeah. Oh, not just visiting, transforming in Dallas. Yeah. But you had come back, and who knew how much ascension had happened career-wise and in your life. You had gone around the world. You had met people from around the world, and you were sitting in this place to impact lives. And I'm sitting here with my mouth falling open as you're describing how you became the vice president of a prestigious,
we're not,
we haven't talked about that.
No.
Of how
we're here for you.
I'm just saying.
We're here for you, and how.
But it's what had, again, it keeps on.
Yeah. And it's almost like, And honestly, I didn't see this until now, having this conversation, how we've kind of played tag team, but we've held each other up over all these years. And so from the time that you wrote on those boards, you wrote out your vision for what's now RareGem Productions. .com, that is. Mm-hmm. And you mapped everything out, and then we reconnect, but I wasn't ready.
Right.
I end up being in this space with listening to the committee in my head and the doubt and the fear. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, take the idea, run with it.
You did. You said, give it to somebody else.
Yeah, but take it, run. And you're like, I'm just going to wait. And you waited and you waited. And here's what I mean by the push that I mentioned earlier and the calm. And you've never talked ill. You've never been forceful. You've always just said, when you're ready, when you're ready.
Because you've even had some pre-starts. Like, okay. No.
And that was me. For the most part, there has been some life instances that have occurred.
Sure. Which they do. But we're living.
Yeah, but me. Yeah. When I say paralyzed, so I think about how, and I'm not going to even say wasted time, but I've delayed. But at the same time, I had to grow up in some areas. I had to mature in some areas. I had to release some things in my life. I had to even give just some time to some things. And in all of that, the passion, like you were saying, things that live under your skin, I now see it wasn't so much that, oh, that's just something I like doing and I enjoy doing. No, it's something that I was born to do.
That's right.
To help people get to the place of rethinking possible.
Absolutely.
And so now we're
here. You've been doing that all along. But again, like before, when I was blending and becoming the hottest DJ in Atlanta, those things were happening in spite of you.
Yeah.
In spite of you. And while we're speaking of midwifery, so to speak, midwifing, we can't push or give birth until we're fully dilated. Until those contractions come, you have to wait until the next wave of readiness is upon you. And it's in those stages. And we've gone through those. We've traversed those together.
And we have. We really have. And so now we find ourselves in this place. And so I came back earlier this year and I said, you know what, Jade? I'm ready.
I said, yeah.
I'm ready. And so she pulls out her laptop and she rapidly starts hitting keys and she turns it around and she says, okay, I'm ready too. Okay, people, why did she already have everything set up to go? Yes, I was excited, but you scared the bejeebies out of me. Do you know that?
I have learned not to say certain things.
But at the same time, I was so amazed. I'm like, this lady here is the truth.
She crazy about you.
No, me, you.
Yeah.
Because it's in part in our love fest. But that's, and I'll say when God brings two people together who realizes, you know what, you're kind of a big deal. And we say that to one another, but yet at the same time, I need you. You have something I need. Yes, I have something going on, but to get you on the team with me, this could be an explosion, not just a little fire, a little something going on. No, it's an explosion. And that's what I think of when I think of our partnership. It's dangerous. It's ignited and it's sizzling and who knows what's getting ready to come.
We'll be used. We will be used.
And that's what it's about. It's about, I love what you're doing with RareGem Productions. And let's just jump right into that. Tell us about that and what's going on.
Well, RareGem Productions proudly presents, promotes, and produces positive programming. We are in a world where we have no hard time finding every no good, rotten, low down, dirty thing, terrible day, possible thing that can happen. And it's making us sick. It's creating stress. It's toxic.
Yeah.
And we all know and have experienced what the power of positivity can do. But that is not mainstream media. And it is my mission to be the answer to that, to be the response to that, that there is a place to go, that when you tune in, it doesn't take from you, that it adds value to your life, that you will be strengthened, that you will be able to pour back into this well of good things that benefit us all. But it has to start with one. And there's whole different areas, so far there are 10 themed networks, from business to health to education to youth to community. Some of them are in commercial radio. Some of them are podcasts. I produce the #1 health podcast in the world with Sean Stevenson.
I'm coming after you, Sean.
Come on, Sean, because it's on, baby. It's on. But it's miraculous that in that arena, when we talk about iTunes, for example, for social credibility's sake, in the health arena, we're talking Jillian Michaels is out there, Oprah's boys, Sanjay Gupta. Jillian has a full broadcasting mechanism, merchandising team, full commercial vehicle.
Marketing, PR,
Come
all
on,
of that.
honey, behind her. But we have kicked butt. Can I say butt?
Won't he do it?
With a mic and a message, 117 countries, nearly 3 million downloads to date. Yes. With the idea of helping people become their highest versions of themselves. That's the core of it.
And this started with a dream scribbled across whiteboards.
Indeed.
Oh my gosh.
Locally, I have partnered with nonprofit organizations. I've partnered with private businesses and major organizations to what? Make sure on the airwaves that we're not using some free license to waste people's time, that we're letting people know, hey, this is some of the great things involved in the community. Here's some things that you could plug into to improve your home. And it's not all about these great PSAs. So then we go back to the turntables. How do you make it fun and engaging and sincere in not a contrived way? You know what it is? Just getting here and telling it with your heart. And I help people communicate their positive message and their narrative to a diverse, engaged audience worldwide.
And a sister, a female in a male-dominated arena, just knocking them down.
We're just getting started. We're just getting started. When Rethinking Possible with Nikki Roach hits,
oh my gosh,
it's going to be bananas.
I am so loving this. So you have all this going, and congratulations. I am just amazed again to have had a front seat in your audience to see all of this unfold and where it's headed and where it's going. And again, yes, I understand. You're just getting started. You, as an individual, Jade, once we strip all this off, what is it that you would want the audience to know about you making this all possible?
That I did not make it. The key word is take. Take time. Take the opportunity. Take a moment to receive it.
I like that.
Not take advantage, take over, take from anyone. I'm saying literally open your hands.
Wow.
And take it in. You can't open your hands holding on to your baggage and your mess or somebody else's. Your hands, figuratively and literally, must be opened. You can't open them without your eyes and heart. You ever try to catch something with your eyes closed?
Wow.
I've tried. It's complicated.
Oh my God. I love it because I love your storytelling process. And that's why you are on the perfect median. I love it.
Well, who knew that was the thing I was most embarrassed of? They don't get me. I'm weird. I make up these stories that...
Are you kidding me?
That was the lie I believed. The malnourishment, the things I was allowing myself to consume back in the day. But now I allow those rivers to flow, which then opens my heart, my mind, my hands to receive. I've spoken with and have had meaningful exchange from people, great and vast and amazing people. And that has created a perspective that is unmatched for me. I've learned, I've connected. The thing I want people to most know, and this probably won't be the platform to talk about the young man whose death impacted the world recently here in our region.
Yes.
But the year prior, I met this child before he started his first day of his last year of school with no idea that he would never see the end of that because he would be killed. However, that particular day, that moment, that presence we keep talking about became tangible. But we have to take those moments and make them tangible. Mm-hmm. And my point is, we have to make each moment tangible in this world that's in constant motion. It's in constant motion. And had we not stopped, we're so busy. I'm talking about as simple as the smile you project to another person, make that real.
Yeah.
Or if it's not a smile, if you're asking how someone's doing just because they're in the proximity of you, mean it.
Yeah.
Like you are going to hear their response.
And slow down to even hear the response.
To hear it. How you doing, girl?
Yeah.
It gets me when we pass another human being and we don't even look in their direction. You may not have words to say. You may feel we've got a sense of energy, but your energy, do you know from your heart, can extend well beyond 5 feet from your physical person.
Wow.
So then don't speak, but from inside, make it tangible. Make it matter. Because a year from now, whether it shows up on a picture or video or anything, it happened. And it is a part of those series of things that can and will make a difference in their lives.
And
great or small.
Yes. And I'm sitting here, I'm present. I'm here, but you messed me up with don't make, but take. Mm-hmm. That is a shift in your mindset. That's major because I'm thinking about that and it's marinating because nothing's going to just happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking about when we talked earlier about positioning yourself.
That's right.
That's taking
you have to
advantage of an opportunity. Yes. Of an opportunity. Mm-hmm. We talked earlier about missing out on things because we didn't take.
Right. We didn't take.
What we did, we made the static, the noise, the audience, the committee that we hear, and that's only on our shoulders.
Right.
We let them take authority and control.
We made them the power.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's like, wow. Mm-hmm. Take it. Take 5 minutes to appreciate what you've done. You've done some things. Dude, you're still here. Yeah, as well as take advantage. I love when you said about speaking to someone. It may not even be literally, but from the heart.
Yes.
That's taking as well, because in that taking, it will be that very, very person or someone connected to that person. Yeah. It happens to me all the time. Does. Look how we're in this space 13 years later.
Tangible.
Because we took advantage of an opportunity. It could have gone a whole different way.
Absolutely.
And the world would have had it go a different way, considering, okay, we're two sisters in the same industry doing the same thing with two competing shows.
Right, because if we'd have thought we were in the same lane, if we were operating in the same lane.
Yeah.
But I'm like, go.
In the same. And then we end up showing at events together. And then it was like, okay, one of us just get in, and the other one brings the other along. Yeah. So we took advantage of that connection just by speaking first with the heart.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
that's what I want people to do.
Okay.
Take time to make every moment tangible. Make your connections tangible, not fleeting, but tangible.
Mm-hmm. And if you do literally have the platform to address the world, and give a message in regards to rethinking possible,
Yeah.
what would that one message be that you would want people, regardless of race, gender, age, because it's never too late
Ever.
to rethink possible.
Ever.
What would your message be to them?
If you struggle with the rethink part and you don't know where to find another perspective or how to undo what you've already known, connect with someone or something else beyond what you know. You can't rethink possible unless you reframe your possible. So lean into the discomfort and see what's there.
I love it. I love it. Last question. 5 years, 10 years. Where will we see RareGem Productions?
And I love that you said we will see.
Yeah,
because
we'll.
that's part of setting goals and
rethinking
reframing.
possible. That's right.
That RareGem is the foremost provider of positive programming. Foremost.
I love it. You know it. That's what's, I'm sitting here just cheesing because you know. There is no doubt.
That when you encounter it, you know that it was uniquely positive.
Wonderful. How can we tune in to hear all the channels and all the positivity and contribute even in some instances? How can we find you?
Well, always let me know what's going on that's positive. Help me see beyond, extend the work of my hands, make sure I know what awesomeness is happening in and around your world and our world. We need it. But you can find the networks of RareGem at oneraregem.com. That's ONERAREGEM.com. And you can find us as well on Twitter at RareGem Online. Of course, there is a Facebook page and some socials, but a good first step is oneraregem.com.
Wonderful. And make sure when you tune in to spend a little time because it's some amazing, amazing, not only host, but content out there. I get lost in it every time I visit. I have some of my favorites as well. So,
well, you are one of my favorites, and I'm happy and proud and delighted to have Rethinking Possible in the lineup on the Inspiration Networks of RareGem.
No, thank you for helping me push. I thank you. I'm just honored.
You've done a lovely job.
Honored,
Nikki.
delighted, almost out of body right now experiences that I'm having. But I am so excited for you. Congratulations. And thank you for allowing me to be on the team.
It is my pleasure and honor, Nick.
Thank you so much, Jade Harrell, for joining us and helping us rethink possible. I'm hoping that you enjoyed hearing from her, and we look forward to spending a little more time with her on the back end. Maybe a few months from now, we'll invite her back to hear how things have progressed. Thank you so much. I'm your host, Nikki Roach, and don't forget, you already possess everything you need to be successful. Now let's rethink possible.
Rethinking Possible is a presentation of Covenant Exchange in partnership with RareGem Productions. If you'd like to be on the show or have questions about any of our guests, please visit Nikki Roach at NikkiRoach.com, NICCIROACH.com. Rethinking Possible is another positive production of RareGem Productions. Thanks for listening.